How you all doing? Right then, let's get some of these parts cleaned up and then we can get on with refitting the front end. Okay, so that's the forks and the wheel cleaned up. The forks look pretty presentable. The wheel doesn't look too bad. Maybe that could do with the painting in the summer. But I'm happy with the forks. See, they come pretty good. No pitting on the stanchions or anything. There's a bit of misting, if you call it misting, I don't know, but they're not leaking anyway. So let's get these forks in. I think we're going to have to lie this bike on its side. Right then, I think we'll do the bottom one first. Make sure we get the right leg on, and that will be the right leg as you're sitting on the bike. So I know the caliper should be at the back, and I know the wood guard should be on the inside, so I'd say that's that one. Push that one into there. Go. Try to feed it to the other one. There we go. So if we just try to have the cap bit showing, I think that should do. I could just pinch those up for now. Not too tight. The top one will do. So that's the right leg in. Let's get the left one in. Right, let's go for it. And there we go. Then we'll just try to get this one just below the cap there. That's about the same. Find out what the torque wrench settings is on those and we'll set them up with the torque wrench. Okay, so the lower clamp is 15 foot-pounds, but the upper clamp is 12 foot-pounds. Spanner on the other side. I don't think 15 is very much, so that one, and that's that one. Let's check that one again. That's that one. That's that one. Check it again. And that's that one. That one. Yep. So yes, they're 15 foot-pounds. Make sure both of them are exactly the same, because when you tighten one up, one side loosens slightly and vice versa. But the top ones are 12 foot-pounds. So let me tighten all those up and I'll be back. Okay, so I almost forgot this Allen key clamp bolt on the handlebar. That is 14 foot-pounds. I can't find my Allen key. I can't find my Allen key at the minute. It's built into the socket. I'll just guess this for now until I come across that and recheck it later. I think that should do it. I'll do the same on the other side and then that's it. The forks are in. Right then, so now I can put the front wheel in. But it's easy enough to forget which side the speedo drive went. The easiest way is just to turn your fork leg round and you'll see the little stop block just there. If you look on the other side, there's nothing. So this is the side for the speedo drive. A bit of spacer under the forks. Get your spacer ready for underneath. Some multi-purpose grease on your axle. Try to drop the wheel in. Get the space in underneath. Won't really show you what's happening, but axle in this side. Right. And that's in there. Then we can put the nut on the other side that you can't see. So that's the wheel in loosely. Now I've got to try and stand the bike up again. Right then, let's see if we can stand this thing up without any major injuries. Get it back over this way a bit. And we're up in sort of a fashion. Can't let go because it'll fall over. Right, we're going to need something under there. That'll do. Just stuck a block of wood under here. That makes it stand up perfectly. But I could really do with getting it onto the main stand, which I don't think I'm going to have much joy on my own. Let's just see how heavy it is. I bet it's very heavy. Oh yes, that's very heavy. So leave it with me while I work out how to get it on the main stand, and I'll be back with a broken back. And there we go. We're back on the stand. Whew. 3 people, 5 seconds. And no more broken backs. Wicked. Right then, let's get this swing arm cleaned up. I'm just using white spirits or terps just to spray on it. And an old paintbrush to rub it off, just to get rid of all the grease and grime. Looks a bit better, but there's still a long way to go. So that's all the swing arm cleaned up. Just use the angle grinder and one of those brushes. I'm going to put some anti-rust compound stuff on it, and then we're going to prime it, and then we're going to spray it, and then we're going to lacquer it. So might show bits of that, or if I don't, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so most of the rust was underneath, so I'm just going to go over with some Amorite crust, and hopefully that will stop the rust coming back. Okay, so I've just got over the old thing with the Amorite crust stuff, because it says that you could just apply your top coat, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'll leave that to dry for I'll say till tomorrow, and then I'll do it tomorrow, put the top coat on. Too shabby. Right then, so the swing arm's been hanging there for a couple of days, so I think that should be dry by now. I did do a couple of brackets as well, which were quite rusty. But all considering the age of the bike, the frame is in pretty good condition. So anyway, let's try and get the swing arm into there. Right then, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is fit the drive shaft before I fix the swinging arm. If you could see there, there's a little hole, and just there's a tiny pin which goes into that little hole there. If I put your eye up, you could see where it actually is, just down there in the frame. Hopefully you can see that okay. So let's try and drop the little pin into the hole, like so. And obviously we have to line that little hole up with the pin. It's not as easy as it looks. Nope, that's not quite right. That looks right. Right, I've got a little screwdriver because this pin is on a little spring. There's a spring underneath it. If I can get in there, push down on the pin. That's it, that should be it. There we go, perfect. And now I think it'd be easier to get the boot on. Right then, make sure there's no splits or cracks in the boot. This one looks quite new. Now I've got all the dirt off of it. Make sure the crosshead screw is facing you so you can screw it up. Okay, so that's all the rubber boot clamp tightened up. I'm not going to lie to you, I did have to take the drive shaft out again, and it made it a lot easier to get the rubber boot on. And I managed to pull the boot back and get the pin in, which is just down there, just out of sight. So anyway, that's the drive shaft in. Now I've got to try and get this swing arm in there. Okay, so we've got the two axle wedge things, wedge between the swing arm, and we need to put some polydenim crease onto everything that moves. Might help it go in as well, I don't know, let's see. Yes, that's nice and free. Just got to leave it back a bit so we can get the swing arm between it. Same on the other side. Same this side, it's a bit darker, but you just push that into there. And now I've got to try and lift that up to there. I've checked all the bearings, put new grease in. Bearings look pretty new actually. I'm sure the swing arm's been off before recently. Push that all the way up. Leave it there a second. I'll try and put it on my stool. Save me struggling a bit. That's better. Okay, so I think we could push this pin in a bit. There we go. Now you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to get this rubber boot on. I think that's on. Right, I think we can fix these bolts into the triangle loosely. If they get stuck, just give them a wiggle, they'll go in. Oh, we got that one stuck, there we go. That'll do, nice and loose. And we can do the other side. Right then, so we can lock these down both sides. They are 17 foot-pounds. What's that one? 2, 3. The same on the other side. Okay, so now we've got to tighten this, the actual pin, not the lock nut. And the actual pin is 20 foot-pounds. And that Allen key size, I've spent about 3/4 of an hour looking for an Allen key to fit that. There's no Allen keys in there that fit it. There's no Allen key up there that fit it. There's no Allen key bits down there that fit it. And now I've just remembered, in the manual when I took this apart, it says you can screw a 10mm bolt in there and pull that out. So if I screw a 10mm bolt in there, it's actually a 6mm bolt with a 10mm head, and I can put 10mm socket on it and hopefully bob's my uncle. So if we pinch this one out of the frame, I think that's long enough. By rights that should screw into there. Just hope I can undo it again when I've tightened it up. With my torque wrench set to 20 foot-pounds, hopefully we're not going to get this bolt stuck in there. Oh, that's it. Now there's no play. And then we've got to go to 20 foot-pound. No, yeah, 20 foot-pound. There we go. Yeah, that feels alright. Now, somehow, we've got to lock this one up to, let me check the book. Okay, so the lock nut is a 24 socket, 24mm. But we've got to make sure this doesn't move. If I mark that there, that's 11 o'clock. Mark it there. The torque is 38 foot-pound, which is a lot. Just pray that that line doesn't move. Right. That was it, click. Oh yes, that looks perfect. That did seem a lot for 38 foot-pound. Yes, that's nice and free. Just to double check. Yep, definitely. So now hopefully we can get that 10mm back out without anything moving. Come up, come up, come up, come up, come up. Yes. Now there you go, that's a good trick. If you can't find an Allen key to fit this like I couldn't, just screw a 10mm bolt in it. Or 6mm thread, 10mm nut. We can put that back in there safe and sound. There we go then, swing arms in. Just doesn't look right, does it? Must be the wrong one. Right, then we can put the plastic cap back onto this side. I'm not sure what goes on the other side. Just a little posi drive Phillips or jizz, whatever you want to call it. Bolt. There we go. Rid of the grease. Job done. Swing arm in. Right, I think next we'll try and get the shock absorber in. Right then, that's the shock absorber all cleaned up the best I can get it. Shocking. And I think it could be a bit fiddly trying to get these two things back into the bloody frame. Just there, into those two little holes. I don't know if I can go in that way without scratching anything. Luckily it's got this rubber boot on it, so that's not going to save my nice new paint. Not that you can see, but I think that one goes into that hole there. Can I get my foot under it? Okay, so hopefully you can see down there. We'll get those into there, and that into there. Ah, yes, we've got it, we've got it, we've got it. Get that into there. Hopefully we can get the bolt through. Here we go. Loosely on that. Hopefully I'll find a washer in a bit. Put the washer and the nut back onto that. I've got to go underneath and get the dog legs on. Okay, so we'll do this side first. Don't know if you can see that, but it says out and that arrow pointing that way, meaning that that goes on the outside like that. We've got our grease nipple bolts. I've put a bit of grease on them already, so we'll push this one first. Put the grease nipple on the outside. Put the nut on there. Okay, same with this one, the out on the outside. Push that in there. Keep the grease nipple on the outside so it's easy to get to. Yep, that's the nut. There we go. Right then, so if I remember rightly, this knuckle bit goes into there. Just a bolt through there. Like so. Yes, this is a bit confusing. What goes to what? Imagining that goes to there, but it could be upside down. Yes, let me just turn that round. Okay, so now that's that way. And that shock must go to that. Yeah, so that's that way, so that shock must go to that bit there. And the dog legs must go to that bit there. Yes, I think we've got it. So let's get this bolt out here. Like so. That must go up to there. Push that through, out through there. Put the nut back on. And they must go to there. Okay, so that will need to go through there. To get that side to there. There we go. That's it. Then we can get the nut on that side. And then this fixing up here is a weird shaped nut. But hopefully we can get that on there. There we go. Right then, so these bolts on the rocker arm are 44 foot-pounds. This side is 17mm, and the other side there is 19mm. And that's that one. That's two. There's three. Then we've got one more, which is this one at the back. Okay, we're doing this one, but on the other side. And there we go. 44. Now we've got to do this one and the one at the top. And those are 29 foot-pounds. And there we go, that's that one. I just want the top one. Okay, so this is the last one. There we go. 29 foot-pound. And that is all the shock absorber in and the swing arm on. So I was going to put the back wheel in next, but I think I'll leave that till next week because it's probably going to be easier to put the back mudguard in first. So that will be in the next video. Just before we go, I'd like to say thank you to Steve for the cup of coffee. Thank you very much, Steve. And I've noticed on most of my videos that at the end I say, I'll see you on the next one. But if you think about it, I've never seen any of you before. You're all seeing me. In fact, I don't know anything about any of you, so please send me a comment. Let me know what bike you ride, or what bike you're doing up, or what bike you used to have. Anything. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Some parts for scrap. Yeah, I think we might scrap that as well. Yes, we can safely say the parts are slowly dwindling. I think that's my backwood guard down there. That's what I need next. That's what they look like now. I've had a little go on that one. Still got the polish in there. Yeah, that's what it looks like now. Not brilliant, but not too shabby. Right, let's try and get the back mudguard out. Yes, it's a bit dark in here. There's the screen.
I'll see you in another life, brother.